Hey there, folks. It's me, Chris, with the Gig Man's Life, and I need to make this short. I need to get out there, hustle my cash, and I just want to go and tell you folks why I'm making these videos because there's problems in the gig app industry. And whether you're delivering or you're in rideshare, there's a lot of problems with these apps, especially with training. And I know there's going to be people going and making these comments about you don't need training to go and deliver a sandwich. Well, let's just go and say this. DoorDash Girl is a prime example of why harassment training was needed. And honestly, if I was the insurance company for DoorDash, I would be going and saying, no, we're not paying out on this. You should go and take care of this because we're not the ones with this insurance policy that says that you did you ever train people not to do this, to make sure that they're not posting the videos of customers out on the internet. And that's not going and saying, well, it's in the policy agreement. Who reads it when they're trying to hustle some cash? Really, who does? And when you got Tim Pool now covering it with the DoorDash Girl incident, there's going to be issues coming out. And they're going to look at all the videos out there. They're going to start studying it so that the insurance company's going to tell DoorDash, pull it out of your fucking profits and pay it out. We don't have to pay it out because you didn't properly train your customer support staff. You didn't make sure your contractors know what's at stake for doing things improperly. And without that training, that's your problem. And I can see people who say, you don't need the training for doing this. You don't need the training for doing that. And I've had discussions with this on doing Uber, especially with the Lyft girl, and saying, they don't have us have training on how to handle situations like that. And, oh, we don't need training to do this. You just need common sense. Unfortunately, not everybody's got common sense. And if you want to go and have a specific statement fed out, and especially with the Lyft individual, where it was definitely a setup. And my statement is completely, if I ever deal with people um on a situation like that, is I tell them, look, I don't feel that this is the best transport and an experience you can have with rideshare. And I am canceling this trip out at no cost to you so that you can get another transport that will give you a better experience. I'm not going to go into arguments about how my car can go and handle or do that or do this. The whole thing is, and by the way, I don't script these videos, as you can tell. I'm just trying to get these videos and my thoughts out about this industry because just like anybody else, I'm concerned about the industry I work in. And I'm not trying to go and put myself out there into a questionable situation like them. So I think about these things every time I see the videos where it's plain stupidity. If, you know, you are too large to get into a vehicle and the person's knows that their vehicle is not going to be able to handle you, then suck it up, get the XL, get the Uber Black, get whatever service is going to help you out and pay for it. You know, when you want to go and talk about fat shaming and all that crap, it's our livelihoods out here. And especially when somebody goes and makes the whole discussion about service animals. I'm sorry, but if your animal is not well behaved and causes a risk to me and you, that's public safety. I can honestly refuse people for just the fact of public safety if your animal cannot be controlled. And, I know a little yapping dog. Yeah, talk about a dog that might be about 100 pounds, 50 pounds being in there, and if they're not under control. That's not a service animal. And I have to meet and greet these animals outside of my car because personally, an animal reflects the personality of the owner. And as I said, I just went off in a whole different tangent, but these are the issues we deal with, and we have to start talking about them seriously. And I know, you know, there's about taking some transport, and I'll tell you how I deal with it. And had very little times where I have declined people, but I have to say, when you got people that will wrench their kid's arm, don't have a seat for the kid that needs a seat, and then they're going and telling me I'm the only person that does this, I hate to tell you, no, I'm not. And I haven't heard that over the 30 years of working with the public, that I'm the only person that does this. No, you just don't like the fact that I'm the only person right now that's telling you no. But that's the other side of this. And I know I risk when I put these videos out because, oh, there's going to be issues. But here's the problem: put some training out there. You can't make it a policy. And your insurance companies are definitely going to start looking at it after this suggestion. And I hope that they see it so that they start looking at the factor of going like this and saying, what are you really doing in training? Are you making sure that the drivers that you got had driver's education? And oh, I'll tell you, those delivery drivers out in Boston that are using little scooters, we can't use scooters out here. Although that would be really helpful to be able to use a motorcycle or a scooter out by the colleges during the spring and summertime to go and deliver food because, hell, those guys are making very little right now. But this is why I'm putting out these things, because we need a platform to talk about doing this work, and not through a unionization process which, hey, spoiler alert, that's more money out of your pocket. So, hey, you guys have a good one. I got to get out there and hustle my cash. So, talk to you later, man. And always check me out every Monday. I put out a video about another topic. I'm going to get off a DoorDash girl. Not that way, folks. But, I'm going to talk about this industry a lot more from my point of view. And hopefully, we start getting this community going. So, you have yourself a great day. And as always, peace out and take it safe on the roads because we share them all.